Manner Reads. I have two very special guests. Well, one is a returning guest. Jamie is back. She had so much fun last time that she wanted to do it again. And
Without
now we
wigs,
have.
without wigs today.
and, and we have our translator, Roni. Roni joining us. Hello. She
Hi.
she translates. You translate most of Jamie's work, right? Is that
Yes.
correct? Yes, yes. So it's not anything real formal. We're just gonna have a little chat about novels, about BL, and anything else that happens. It's gonna happen. But actually, my first question to you is, Ronnie, how long have you been translating?
Actually, I have been translating professionally since I was 18.
Oh wow.
Like seriously, I translate for money ever since I was 18 and
30 years
it,
ago.
yeah,
No,
so
I'm
many
joking.
years
I'm
ago.
sorry. I'm joking.
Like yeah, 10 plus years ago. Let's not be too specific here. But yes, I have always been translating. And it also comes with the territory when you have a degree in language. You know, people always approaches you and ask if you can translate this and that for them. So I guess I have been translating like nonstop ever since
Oh
then. But
wow.
um, concerning things like novel translation, I have only done that when I have known Jamie. I have always been a big fan of her work. So, I was like, what a shame that this great piece of work it's only limited to the 70 million plus people who know and speak Thai. So why don't I expand this a little bit further and translate into English? And that's where it all started.
Okay, okay. Wow,
Sure.
that's actually you've been very busy for a long time.
Yeah.
Um, so since so now do you just still exclusively do Jamie's work, or now do you branch out to other authors if they ask you?
Well, actually, I mean, I have a day job. I teach at a university full time,
Oh wow.
and yes, and part of my academic services, as part of as the faculty, is to translate documents. So between doing Jamie's work and doing my day job, which also include translation of
Yeah.
many other various fields. I mean, I have translated court documents. I translated things that are on governmental websites and so on. So I think I have my handful.
Okay. Okay.
I'm
So
very possessive of her as well, you know. So I was
that's true. You
like,
did mention
please stay with
that.
me.
I come with a price.
Don't scare me.
so So I know that you're obviously very busy with your day job and translating novels like on the side, but do you have a favorite genre of novel? Like what's your favorite type of novel?
Actually, this may sound very boring, but I am actually a big fan of slice of life, which
Oh,
is why I am such a big fan of Jamie's writings. I mean, yes, you have to admit it. Her main genre is definitely slice of life. I
mm-hmm.
think it takes great skill to make a normal everyday life seem special.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jamie's stories, they are not, they are not like over the top. You will see people from all walk of life, and they are just, normal people going on about their lives and, falling in love slowly, everything all at a slow, gentle pace. And a lot of people they think, writing stuff like that is boring. They need things like action or like super intense drama and everything. And those are fun in their own way. But I am a big fan of slice of life. It's just it's comforting and it's warm to know that you don't need, all these special things to have a fulfilling life.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Jamie's novels, your novels are kind of more slice of life. They don't.
Yeah, I
They,
like it actually.
yeah, yeah. No, it's really. I mean, it's nice, because
I like
obviously,
something realistic.
yeah,
So
yeah.
mm,
I mean, but you say that, but you are writing a fantasy novel, so you know.
yeah, but you know what? I like slice of life, and I like to write something realistic. But I also like fantasy. I also like thriller, horror, or crime and stuff like that as well. And I wanted to try to write those stuff like horror or about some crime scene, and fantasy. Now I get a chance to write a fantasy novel. I will try my best, and once I completed it. I hope you guys like it. It's just like my first fantasy novel ever. So I hope you like it. And Ronnie, she expected something
I
naughty,
have many
but
suggestions to make it really, really a fantasy story, but sometimes she just doesn't take my good ideas.
Oh
no.
see, I would have lots of good ideas.
The main character is a dragon.
Yes.
And for me, he is such a gentle, a loyal dragon. You don't need anything more from him.
I mean,
Running,
I,
being
I
very naughty.
Come
like, yeah. I mean, yes, dragons, but like dragons are also really fierce, and they're also like
Oh,
really
he's so
like
handsome.
and
Oh my
powerful,
god.
and they
Yeah.
they they invoke a certain like image like in your head of like when
Yes.
you see a dragon or when you think about a dragon, you're like, oh yeah, like they'll like tear you apart. So I mean, like maybe not like completely, obviously like that, but like some of that is fine. like
Yeah, let me show you my
Jamie's just
dragon.
ignored me. She's like, no. She's all like,
I'm sorry.
it's okay.
You
It's
know
okay.
what? I don't want any naughty. Look at my dragon. So
That's
handsome.
really nice. I'm very excited. I'm so excited. Like when you told me that you were gonna be working on a fantasy novel, I was so hyped. Like I love fantasy. Like I love the fantasy genre. I love wuxia dramas. Like I am all about that. So I was like, I'm super pumped. Like I'm super excited. Like that's like my favorite genre. Like fantasy and wuxia is like my top genres, and then I enjoy slice of life too because like when I was watching it, well, when I was watching anime, I tended to gravitate more towards like the slice of life anime, um, like the romantic slice of life. Like I don't know,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah,
just
yeah.
something. Yeah, it was just something like interesting because they made it better than like real life anyway. So it's just like
Sure.
yeah, but I'm looking forward to your fantasy novel. Like I really am. Like I'm so hyped.
Ah,
Like
thank you.
I can't wait.
Thanks.
Well, I mean, you know what? In my personal opinion, one of Jamie's greatest strengths is she can write really lovable characters. I mean,
yeah,
Aw,
especially the protagonist. I mean, you sometimes you read stories where you feel so frustrated with the protagonist, but
yeah.
hers somehow always end up being like lovable in their own ways. I mean, sometimes they can be idiots, and sometimes you would like to like scream at them a little bit, like, really, are you going to like take that route, you know? But at the end of the day, they are really lovable. So
Yeah.
it is comforting to read
Thank
to a
you.
certain degree.
Yeah, yeah, they are. Yeah, it is
You
comforting to read.
are, you
Um,
are really my big fan.
just, just to let you
I,
guys
you
know.
know, because I know her for such a long time, and I feel like she's a friend already.
Right, right.
Well,
Uh-huh.
like my one of my best friend. But when but when I heard she say something like that, and I feel like oh my god, you are my really big fans. You really like my novels.
Well, I mean, she wouldn't translate for you if she wasn't, right? Like, I mean, that's
Oh my
like the
god.
whole, that's
Yeah.
like the whole thing. Okay, so I don't. So I asked Jamie this question last time, and she said that she was too busy to watch series. But I want asking you, Ronnie, have you been watching any series lately, or like what has caught your attention, or do you even have time to watch anything? But yeah, basically, like, what series are you watching right now, if you're watching any?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I'm here just for fun for that.
I asked you last time, and you said you weren't watching anything. Are you watching anything now?
That was
Am
that
I
very
watching anything now?
awesome.
Do I have time to watch anything now? Yeah, unfortunately, I don't really have time to watch anything because I was so busy with work. And I mean, Jamie can be a slave driver, like she worked very hard. So aside from my job and my translation, I don't really have much time to watch anything. The latest series that I sort of watched, but um I couldn't say I watched it from the beginning to end. I watched The Untamed, the
Oh,
Grandmaster of
Mm.
Demonic Cultivation. You know, that was like all the rage just like 2 years ago.
yeah.
But I just had a chance to skim it
Oh,
like a few months ago. Like I
yeah.
watched like a couple of these and that, maybe some special scenes. Um, yeah,
How about
I
Cherry
would have to say
Magic?
it was a really good show.
How about Cherry Magic? I think we were
But
like
Sherry Magic, yeah,
chatting. Did,
and
did,
that
did, did you
too.
did you yeah. I
I watch,
remember we
yeah,
talked like
I watched
together,
Sherry
right?
Magic too. I watched it before The Untamed though.
Oh
Oh,
really?
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
Be- and but on it, like, you know, but like in the same manner, I also did not like finish watching the whole thing because time and everything.
I mean, well, the Untamed is long. Like, the Untamed is really long. Like, I think it's like 55 episodes.
True.
Like, yeah, so it's a lot. And plus, it's like, they have, it's a lot of like, it's, wait,
Hi,
hold on.
Daddy.
Yep.
So cute.
Okay. Well, the Untamed, yes. So, I honestly really love the Untamed. I saw it all the way through, but I watched it really late too. Like, everyone kept on like yelling at me to watch it. I was just like, fine. So I finally sat down to watch it, and it was really good. Like I said, like it blended like all the things that I really liked. It blended like wuxia and like kind of imperial drama with like BL and bromance. So I was just like, this is my jam. So I'm gonna watch it. If you like the Untamed, the other one I could recommend to you guys, both of you, is Word of Honor. It's on YouTube.
Ah,
Oh
It's
yeah, I
really
know.
really good.
I heard
It's
about
like
it.
one of the. I don't want to say that it's better than the Untamed because they're both like good. Like they're both great in their own way. But it is really really good. Like I think
Mm.
y'all would enjoy it. It's shorter than the Untamed too. It's only 36 episodes, so
Oh,
I
so
think
okay.
maybe
it'd be kind of
37.
hard to find anything longer than The Untamed. It would take
Yeah.
some effort because it's a really really long one.
Yeah, Yeah, well, so Word of Honor is like 37 episodes, and it's on Viki, and YouTube, on their Yoku channel. So I would definitely recommend that one to you because it's so
Mm.
good. I could talk about it like all day, but it would be boring
Yeah,
to
I can
people.
tell.
I don't know, Jamie. Since the last time, have you started to watch anything else besides Secret Crush on Me? I think you were watching that one the last time we
Yeah, I
talked.
was like a bit, and I try to watch Meow Ears Up, Meow Ears Up,
Uh huh.
uh,
Yeah.
uh, James, but is only available 2 episodes in YouTube. I like James, and director is late, so we are kind of friends. So I just watch
Yeah.
his work. But I don't know. For international viewers, I don't know where to watch. I mean, they're only available on YouTube 2 episodes, and after, excuse me, and after I don't know. So
So
I
yeah,
just
we
I
talk
don't know
about
what to
this.
do.
Yeah, so we talk about this, or I talk about this on my podcast too. That sometimes it's very hard for international fans to watch series,
Yeah,
like if they're not
yeah.
readily available. So I have like 5 different apps that
Oh
I pay
wow.
for
Okay.
to be able to watch
Uh-huh.
series. I know it's terrible,
Oh
but
You
it's
are
like
a dedicated fan.
I,
yeah.
I mean, I've one, I am a fan, and then two, I've also created a whole like YouTube channel and like a podcast too, BL. So it's kind of like it's kind of my job, but like I love it. Like I love like talking about it. I love like so it's not really a job, but it's
Yeah,
something
yeah,
that I'm
yeah. I know. It's a
passionate about.
hobbies, like
Yeah. So it just
sort of.
happens that I have a bigger platform to talk about them now. So yeah, but the 5 I had, they were even before the podcast and before anything because like I would like watch. I mean, there's certain series that I really want to watch, and so they're only on certain platforms, and so like sometimes you have to pay. So Meow's Ears Up is on Goggle Lala. It's a platform. I don't know if you heard of that site or heard of
Yeah,
Gaga, the
yeah, yeah.
company.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Gaga. So I haven't seen Meow Ears Up.
Yeah, that's what I think is in some kind of applications, but it's not available for foreigners. And I feel you guys because even I'm Thai, but I don't live in Thailand, so it's hard for me to watch things if it's not on YouTube or Netflix or some other applications that support what is it, international
Yeah,
IP.
yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
sometimes I have to try to use a Thailand VPN,
Yeah.
to
Yeah, a lot of
watch.
international fans use VPN all the time. Like they have a
Yeah,
dedicated
yeah, yeah.
VPN because it's like the only one of the only ways. Like if anything goes on like WeTV, I just actually lost access to WeTV. It's no longer available to the U.S.
Hmm.
So if you want to watch shows there, you have to use a VPN,
Yeah,
but then you
true,
also have
true.
to pay for VTV. Like it's just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah.
So I just like decided that if anything goes on WeTV, I'm just like letting it go because I'm just like
Hmm.
there's no like you don't have the budget to like pay
Yeah.
for all of the services. So but the other platform. I don't know if it's available in London, but I also use Viki. They're
I
available
think
in the
so.
US.
It's like a European website or app or something, right? Because I think,
It's Japanese. Like it's a
oh,
Japanese
really?
company. Yeah,
Vicky?
yeah. But yeah, Viki's a Japanese
So
company.
it's a different one that I know because I know one girl from Twitter as well. She's working for this app Wiki, and but it's a European app. It's not it's not from Japan, so probably it's different Wiki.
Oh, I don't know, but I know
Yeah.
that Vicky is available in more countries than Gaga is, and so that's
Mm.
when. So sometimes if it's on WeTV, it'll go on Vicky or like other
Mm.
like if other platforms or whatever. So I don't know. Sometimes they pick up shows later, so they might pick up Now Airs Up later. I don't know, so you can watch it
Mm.
more episodes. I don't know. Currently, though, what I'm watching is Kin Porsche,
Mm-hmm.
La Cuisine, and like those are my two like main ones that I'm watching right now. And they're very different shows.
You have another show that you have to watch next Saturday.
Oh, right. That is My Secret Love, right? How could I
Yes.
forget? How could I forget about that one? I have to do a reaction to it too, so that's gonna be. I did a reaction to the trailer
Yeah, I
for My
saw it.
Secret Love.
It's
I
very
don't know if you saw it, Jamie, or I don't know if
I
Ronnie
watched
saw
it
it.
already. Yeah.
Oh my god, I was so hyped. I was just like, I hope you liked my reaction. I was so
Yeah,
nervous.
I
I was just
do.
like,
I
Jamie's
to
gonna
be
see it.
honest,
I have to
the
be
actions, I like it.
good. Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna be reacting to My Secret Love. So don't worry, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna.
You
Yeah.
can react with Roni.
I mean, if she wants to, if she's free, I mean, I'm not gonna
If she
be
has
like
time, she is
she.
so busy.
Jamie's just like making a schedule for you, Ronnie. She's just like. she, she's just
She was
like.
like, leave me alone.
Well, I mean, I will be.
I'm very confident about her, so there we go. We will see if we send to her like a day before.
Give me some time, man. I mean,
Yeah.
really, like translating subtitle, it's a different art form than translating
Mm,
novels or any other like pieces of writing, because
true.
you have to work with limited time. I mean,
Mm,
the speed that a character is saying like a word or a sentence. I mean, if you know anything about language, you do know that when you translate from language A to language B, the target language will always be longer than the original, because you have to make sure that you carry all the meanings over to the
Mm.
other
mm,
language. And because it
mm.
is longer and you have to work with the context of a subtitle, I mean, they say it in 3 syllables. How much time are you going to give your audience to read the subtitles? So you
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
be concise, but you also have to make sure that you carry, as much as you can from the original language to the target language.
So now that you mention it, because Thai is so different than English, like how do you manage to kind of make sure that you're translating it, uh, that it makes sense, and that you're not losing too much of what the original intent was?
This may sound a little bit privileged, but sometimes it all boils down to the quality of the translator, as in how much experience you have. Sometimes it is all about whether you have enough knowledge of popular literature so that you can compare it from language A to language B. Sometimes it is a matter of knowing enough allegory, like you say this in language A, what can you say in language B that carries roughly the same meaning, your proverbs, your all your resources. So yeah, it all boils down to the quality of the translator. I mean, I know some young translators who are really enthusiastic and they are willing to learn, and I believe that they will become good translators, but things like this, it takes time. Like if you are young, sometimes you haven't read this, you haven't read that, so when it comes to the time that you have to translate it, you don't really know how to explain it to the audience of the other language. And so the best thing you can do is try to translate it directly. And sometimes you lost some of the flavors of the original text, like you lost the puns, you lost on the wordplay, you lost on the cultural connotations. So to our translators out there, just keep on reading and improving yourselves.
Like for Thai puns, because I obviously read and obviously have watched a lot of Thai dramas and things of that nature. Sometimes the puns, even when they're translated in English, I'm like, what does that even mean?
uh,
So like how
yeah.
difficult is it to just translate the puns and the wordplay like just into like English, because I feel like even when they are, it's just like like what does that even like how does that work, how do you make that kind of make sense?
Well, I would say that as a nation, I would say, because Thai people love pun. I'm telling you. Like, and Jamie, she's definitely Thai in that regards because there
What?
are so many word plays in her work. And I was like, sometimes I was like, dude, this is like fun and cool and everything, but how the heck do you expect me to translate this stuff? And she's just like, that's not my problem. And I'm like, thank you so much. I feel the love.
Oh,
But
well, I
yeah,
help you, sometimes I have to think about the words as well, sometimes.
yeah, but most of the time I'm just like, excuse me. Like, do you even think of me when you hand me this stuff? Like, how difficult it is to translate this pun and wordplay junk. And she's like, that's the way I write. And I'm like, thank you. you know. Uh, so anyway, actually, I'm trying, like, sometimes it's like hard to, I'm trying not to be too academic here, but actually there are quite a few theories on how you can translate puns from language A to language B. And the best way is to find an equivalent in the target language, you know,
Mm.
like, I mean, some word plays and some proverbs, it it is the same in English and Thai. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we are all humans, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
and so sometimes we do have the exact same thing. Like we have the equivalent of an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. We have that. So if that particular proverb should arise, then I have no problem translating it as an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Now, that's the easy one. But the harder ones will be ones that you don't have the exact equivalent in the target language. That's when you have to get creative.
What is one
For
of the
example,
Thai proverbs that doesn't have a direct like translation that you have to kind of find words to kind of match?
um there are things that portrays the difference in like the Thai culture and the English culture. Fortunately, I would have to say I don't think I have been pushed into that particular corner just yet. I have always been able to come up with like a thing or two, if not exactly, then similar. But um you asked for an example, right, of a
Mm-hmm.
proverb that cannot be translated exactly. Let me think. Jamie?
My wicket master. From my wicket master, I think, because we've
Oh
been
my God.
talking about it a lot. Like, oh my God, Jimmy, how do I translate this? And I was like, no.
Still not my problem. Because I'm a
And I
horrible
always think
author like
about
that.
something. I always think about something funny, that we cannot really use or something. But it's like if I write like slice of life and romantic is no problem. But when it's come to comedy, my language is crazy. Like some
Yeah.
particular words, like and poor Roni, but well, she did a great job, Like for example, Bamee, hot Bamee. Oh my God, I cannot believe that. How can she describe everything? Is like exactly you read in Thai, how I wrote it. She
Mm-hmm.
just wrote it. That's why I just don't want anybody else because he's so good with all these things. Still, we still have to translate my wicked master. And you have
um,
to do it.
um,
um,
No, because
Ronnie's like,
I use some kind of like words to describe your body part in a
body
funny
parts,
way.
yes.
oh
In
my
a
god.
funny way,
Uh-huh.
like hands, hands,
And
like these 5 fingers, and I just use some words that is funny in Thai,
uh yeah.
and
You know,
Roni, she just
okay,
like
for
smiling about
example,
it.
in my big headmaster, then she refers to the 5 fingers that you use to do how do I say this, some alone activity that brings you much pleasure and relieve stress.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So instead of just saying hands or something like that, she refers to this as the five little helpers.
Oh,
Angels,
Like helper
angels,
goddesses.
goddesses. Yeah.
what is it in Thai?
แม่
Um,
นาง
the
ทั้งห้า
yeah, the direct translation will be the five ladies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'm like, can I just say the five ladies? And I guess like the closest translation would be like five little goddess helpers or
Goddesses,
lady
yeah.
helpers. Yeah.
Yeah,
Five,
yeah.
five,
It would be like the
five
five
little
lady helpers
fairies
or
or
the five
Five
something.
little
little
helpers.
helpers.
Yeah, now please
Yeah.
translate it. I want to read that. Anyway,
You know what?
another.
This novel have in any like many languages, like in Italian, Indonesian, I think. What else? Spanish and few languages except English because well, anyway, she doesn't have time yet. We have a plan. Excuse me, we had a plan to translate this novel, but Roni, she hasn't got enough time yet. She been busy with her work plus translate my other works as well. So we will see. One
I see.
day it will be in English. She said she will translate all my work. So
Now,
Well, I mean, I can.
I
I
mean,
mean,
in other words, when people are saying, oh, why aren't you translating like this and that? And I was like, because I am busy working for this very same author, but in other project. I mean, it's still working for Jamie, just not this project because I mean, oh my gosh, she has so many works.
she does. She does. She really, you
Yes.
really do, Jamie. And
I'm sorry.
but I'm
What?
very.
Yeah, it's like sorry, not sorry.
Joy.
Sorry, I am so well known and so popular, and people love my work.
I know. Jamie's
I'm not
super
even sorry.
popular. It's good, It's just gonna mean that everybody gets employed, really. But But I know that you guys can't spoil too much about Bamee at all. But I know people are still very curious about it because they've seen some sketches and like I know Jamie designed the uniforms for the hotel staff.
Yeah, I'm so proud.
Very, very, very exciting. So, what was, I mean, without giving anything away,
Can
what
that really work? Like,
was
Well, there are many surprises on the way with hot bami. With hot bami, which we cannot say anything much at the moment. We, as I told you last time, originally we would like to make an announcement in February, but many things going on in this world actually. So by that time, I didn't feel like we should make some kind of announcement when the world have been facing with some kind of war, anything, starting of the war and stuff. At that time, it was just too sad, and I didn't really want to do it. And well, the producer, they are good, so they agree with me, and we just postponed it. When it's not like, okay, you starting to do a TV series or you go to this kind of business and you just take and you not give. I am not agree with that. You just cannot, you know do everything for profit or for fame or whatsoever. You have to give to people as well. You have to care about the people, you know the audience and the leaders, everything. I care about people all the time. So I'm thinking that if it's not the right time, we just have to wait. You know, I mean, here the situation is still not that good, but life must go on. Plus, our producers, the main producer, is the same with my secret love.
oh, okay.
So, well, the two of them. So it's like they are super busy with my secret love at the moment. So we were thinking like, okay, when things calm down, because they're still shooting. Uh,
Mhm.
they're still shooting the series at the moment while we speak. Or maybe not because it's late now in Thailand. Yes, Roni.
Yes. Right.
So
it
they,
is
they
like 9:48 p.m. So
okay. So they are busy at the moment. So I was like, okay, when things are a little bit calm down, then we can try to make some movement with Bami. And also we would like to make an announcement of the cast after we finish filming the teaser.
Mhm.
So after we review the cast, and then we can show you guys the teaser as well. So hopefully we can do that soon. You know,
hopefully.
Well, I'm
hopefully.
looking
But
forward to it.
it definitely will be in this year, like
Okay.
maybe the second quarter of the year or something.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I mean, definitely what you said made a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
it's
Like,
already second. No, not.
I am
Sorry.
thinking more like the third quarter, or
Third quarter. Yeah, it's third quarter. I'm thinking like now it's May already, right?
it is
it's
me.
me
It's
already.
May.
It is
Oh
me
yeah.
already.
Oh
The
my
second
God.
quarter
I
in
just
June.
like
So, you know.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, time flies. I just didn't
Yeah.
realize. May. I
I
already,
mean,
I had operation at the beginning of the May, so it's already more than 1 year.
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, it's
gosh.
been, yeah, and plus, like, I mean, I think that starting a series from scratch, well, I mean, from your work, but just starting that kind of from scratch and just getting everything together. And you're so involved in this project, like more than my secret love. So it's gotta be
Yeah.
it's gotta be a long process, just getting everything off the
You
ground.
know what? Yeah, I try to like, when when you are just a person and you have this kind of opportunity to do something good for the society, well, you can call me crazy, but I think this way. I know that Hot Bamee is a super erotic novels, but I know that some people may think, like, why she want to change it? You can just have erotic series. It doesn't matter. Anybody do. But what I want to give back to the community. I just want something good to happen to this industry. I want to try my best to do something good. I mean, I also love the characters. I love my novels, and I will not change for no reason. I have my vision as well. I
Mm-hmm.
want to do something good. Before I was nobody. I just cannot do anything that I'm doing right now. I'm also a sick. Well, I'm diagnosed with cancer, so I just want to do something good when I can, and I just want. I have dream to do something, whatever I can do to the society. So this, I have my chance, so I have to take it. I will do. I try my best. So why were we talking about this? Like, it's supposed to be fun
It
chat.
is a fun chat, but I
Fun.
mean, sometimes it is
I
fun. I
mean,
mean, sometimes
we like being able to be on national television, it's a big deal. I mean, nowadays people are going on various platforms of social medias and getting followers and everything. And with us being able to be on national TV, we will be able to reach like as many people as big influencers with millions of followers. So yeah, Jamie and I talk about how we can use this opportunity to spread positive messages, like encourage
mm-hmm.
people to be happy and do things that will make them happy and help society at the same time, and promote things that we think are good and stuff like that. So it is a huge opportunity, and
Good.
we hope that we can make the best out of it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I mean,
don't
it is.
worry. How to?
Hmm?
Pardon. Sorry.
Oh
You
no, go
you
ahead,
go
Judy.
first. No, I mean, don't worry that Hot Bummy will be, still a comedy, fun to watch, and will
It
be
will still be
funny.
hot,
It
right?
will be nice and hot. There, of course, there will be love
You see?
scene. It may be pan the camera to the lamp shade or something.
That's classic. That's classic. It's always the
Well, I
lamp,
mean,
or you know
yeah,
what? Make
you
it
can
goldfish. Can we make it
yeah,
goldfish? I like when they
go.
pan to the
Oh my
goldfish.
gosh.
Always the goldfish.
Goldfish. Think
We
about
can make
it.
it more Thai. We can, instead of goldfish, we can make it like the Thai fighting fish. Like
Oh
I
my
don't know what
god.
I don't know what the Thai fighting fish are, but okay, yeah, sure, whatever.
You know what?
As
I
long
can tie
as
it. I can
Google
tie it
it.
in my
Google Thai
novel.
fighting
You know
fish. They
what?
are really, really beautiful animals.
I will I will tie in my novels. I will pen to the novels that I wrote,
you won't
my
fan to your
books.
other novels. It's just gonna casually be there on Hot Bammy's shelf. Just be like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it will be still fun and like exciting
It
and
will still
stuff,
be
but
hot, right?
probably. But I want to add something into it.
Roni just wants to know if it's still gonna be hot. Like she just really wants to
Well,
know.
the name is hot by me, so how can it not be hot? Come on.
It will still be yummy, right?
Ah, look at Kiki also. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it will still be hot by me and yummy Kikyo. So don't worry. Oh, Bami
Oh
is
my gosh,
hot,
you guys are crazy.
So the boy is hot,
Yeah, yeah.
and he is like come straight out of the novel covers with the hair and everything.
Yeah, I mean, no, like no,
Muscle and
no spoiler or
boom.
anything, but Jamie and I, we
Yeah.
agree that, when we review the cast, no one, and I mean no one, will be disappointed.
Okay. How
Seriously, no
Mm-hmm.
one
how
will be
fun
disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
how fun was
Mm-hmm.
that to review the cast though? Like how fun was it just to have
Yeah.
photos of just
You,
like
you know what? Because he is just like exactly from the novel covers, exactly everything from head to toe and inside out.
The look, the personality, he
Yeah,
has
he,
it all.
he,
I
he
am
is
telling you.
bummy. He is bummy. Bloody
I'm
hell.
really
He,
looking forward to that. Like I'm really looking forward to it now because I have it like I have a vision in my head, but I just want to see that like
you know, you know what? Roni and me and some other close friends, we were like talking about like many things, and when we have um, well, let me say it because if I say something, maybe people can guess. From the very first time I saw him, and I come to chat with them, like Ronnie and other friends, like, oh my God, this boy is so bummy. You know, he is so suitable to play Bamee, but I don't think anybody will, make series from Bamee, but, we can just giggle, like,
and
between ourselves, like,
it's not
oh, Bamee.
happening.
And like, one of our friends, she um, she straight away she go to follow his IG, and she always snapshot of the photos of his photos and send to us like, oh my God, he is so bummy, he is bummy. We were like, oh man, talking about this, and I just cannot believe that I really have him to play my bummy, and he is like bloody hell. He's just like he's
Yeah, I mean,
bummy,
like,
I don't know what to say more than this. He's
yeah, I
bummy.
mean, in the words of, from Frankenstein, he's alive. Exactly like that. Exactly like that.
uh, okay, so
Yeah.
you guys like mentioned that you guys both looked at the cast picture or the audition photos. So how many photos did it take for you to find the right person? Like, did you have to go through a lot, or was it just like immediate?
Well,
Like,
for example, for Bami, I know the boy before, even before
okay,
the producer contacted me that they would like to make a TV adaptation from Hot Bami and Yummy Gyeonggung. So what I did was like he proposed it to me to make a series, and I said to him that you can have Hot Bami, you can make a TV series from this novel only in one condition. I need this boy to play the role of Bami. If you are agree, you can have my novel. And they are agree, so
so that was done.
you know.
But like the other actors, right? Because you didn't
The
have.
other actors, like many actually, like for example, when this come to Pikio, because I don't live in Thailand, so I just have to look from the pictures and for the video. What happened with Pikio is he sent me so many pictures and video of boys, and I just didn't think anybody suitable for Pikio, and then when he sent me a TikTok video of one of the boy, and he said like, I still, I just met this boy on TikTok. Like he just sent this boy to me. He is not even like work as an actor or anything whatsoever. He
Wow.
just post his video on TikTok, and the producer sent this video to me, and I was like, here's my Piggyao, you know, he is Piggyao. So I just I want this boy. So he contacted the boy for me and everything. So finally, I really, have him sign contract and everything. So which is very good. And the other boy is like we were discuss about this, about choosing from pictures, because the producer they are also modeling companies, so they have so many
Mm-hmm.
models in the hands, so they can just you know choose some and send them to me. Uh, anyway, so I seen many pictures, and I pick I think I picked the one that's suitable for the roles. I hope, but for me, I think Bamee and Gilgong is really, the one. They just really so suitable. It's not only how they look, but is their personality as well. It's just so right for me. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to meeting them. Like I'm looking forward to seeing them because you talked
I
about.
just,
I mean,
I'm
they.
dying to tell you guys and to make an announcement, but it's not the right time yet.
No,
And
no, right?
gosh, I just really hope soon, that we can
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone at our first interview, like everyone was asking me, like, "Did she tell you? Did she tell you?" I'm like, "No, she didn't tell me. I'm not telling you. Like, like what you saw in the interview was what she told me. Like, I don't. Yeah, it was like my friends because I'm in a group chat on Twitter, and so they were like, they after they watched your interview, they're like, "Did she tell you? Did she really tell you?" I'm like, "No, stop it." Like, yeah, so everyone's like super excited about it. Just want you to
Thanks.
know.
Well, yeah, but it's quiet and naughty novel, sorry.
Yeah, I think
Everybody wants to know who is
I
Bamee.
think everyone was surprised too because like most of your novels are not like that. Which is not to
Yeah,
say that it's not a bad thing. It's just like most of the time, you write,
yeah,
very
yeah, yeah.
like yeah.
Even my Thai readers, many of them, they were like, they don't believe that I wrote Hot Bamee.
It's
And they
just
were
it's
like, they read Hot for me and they read love letters. And they
yeah.
was like, is really the same writers? And I was,
I mean it's quite different.
yeah.
It's quite different than your other works, and so I guess that's why people are surprised. But in a way, it's good, like because it's like you were. I don't know when you wrote Hot Bammy, but like it's just like it's just a different type of novel, and so I think
Yeah,
that
yeah,
all stories are valid, like if they are good and have like you know if they have a good story to them, and
yeah,
and who cares like if they have like some
yeah.
NC
It's
scenes
fun
or
though. Yeah.
yeah, it's just sometimes you need that just to kind of like have fun and just to like unwind, and
Yeah.
it's all good. So, but I guess I was
Yeah.
really surprised when I read it. I was just like, just like
Hot Bambi is Roni's favorite novel. It's
it
her
is your
favorite novel.
favorite.
And she translates so fast. Oh my gosh. She was like, oh my gosh. I was like,
It
how
was
can
It
like,
you do
oh, look, it's the last page already.
was.
She was like, oh my god, it's like,
I mean, I was just curious, Ronnie,
uh,
how you managed to like. Did you at any point did you blush? Like when you were translating, did you like have to take breaks like in between
oh,
like
she loved it.
I,
She
I, I
always
did. I did have to take breaks.
said, you know, she is the one who requested so many love scenes from me. She told me the position and everything. She teach me how it should be also like this position and she explained to me and I have to write it. See, truth came out.
Okay,
See?
okay, sure, fine. I did make suggestions. I was like, in order to like, I mean, if you are going to make this into an erotic novel, then we have to, we have to pull no punches. It has to be 100%. So I was like, you can't just do the basics. You have to push your boundaries, man. So I was like,
And
try
then,
this position, try this,
yeah.
location, do this, do that.
I was like, what is it? How did they do it? And she explained to me how they're supposed to do this kind of position. And she explained to me.
I was like, come on, chop, chop, do it, write
Yeah,
it.
she was like, Jamie, this is the request. You have to do it. You have to write it. And I go, oh my God, why don't you do it by yourself? You have to do it. And she sit next to me. I'm sure she will try to do it.
I
So,
mean,
okay.
jokes on me. At the end of the day, I still had to translate it, right?
You
Yeah.
still have to translate it.
She
How is that?
translates so fast. Oh my God.
Right? Like how difficult was it for you to translate Hot Bamee and like how many? Because it is quite different. And so like how did you get that done in time, and how did you kind of push through any kind of like I don't want to say secondhand embarrassment, but just kind of like the embarrassing kind of like,
Oh no.
or just kind of like
No.
the more blushful moments from the
Sorry to
novel. Like how did
interrupt, but she is so embarrassed at all. She is so enjoyed it. She translates Habami the fastest, especially the love scene. So fast.
you let Ronnie answer herself? I asked
Oh,
Ronnie.
okay. Okay. If I have to go into serious mode to answer this,
No,
question.
not serious mode. Natural mode, please. She is born to translate erotic novels these days. Okay.
One of the most challenging things in translating Hot Bamee is because since there are so many sexy scenes, I have to try my best to not use the same word over and over. So, like thesaurus.com was my best friend during that time. I mean, I was like everything, like sometimes my brain was so fried and I was like, oh my God, this word again. I mean, not again. I mean, in Thai,
In Thai, I use different words.
Jamie used different words. She
Mhm.
used a wide
Oh,
varieties of
different.
words.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But when you translate, it, it all pointed to the same one meaning.
Yeah.
So it was one meaning. So I was like, yeah, okay. I have to be truthful to her work, right? So
Right.
if she used different words to explain the same one thing, I have to do the same in English. So
Mhm.
as I said, thesaurus.com was my best friend during that time. Like, I type in a word and I was like, so which one should I choose? and and then I have to choose the one that like that sounded best with the context and everything. So to answer the question, it was not embarrassing at all because I was so intense and focused on doing the best, language wise. I only got embarrassed when I reread my work and I was like, wow, I did that.
Me too. When I wrote, I just so stressful. I'm not like shy or embarrassed or anything. I'm so stressful because I just try to express, uh, you know, um, how they feel or how did they do or how they
Yeah.
the love scenes.
Where the
But
leg
for
went,
me,
where the arm went.
yeah, I just have to try to choose the word that is not rude, or the reader will not feel embarrassed, or this is, oh my God, this is rude, this is rubbish,
Mhm.
something like that. I have to try to select the word uh, that is good enough,
Mhm.
to be in a one good novel.
Right.
And For example, the D word, the D word, I never write the D word. You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
sure.
We know.
So I never
The D
write
word, the P word, the
directly.
C word.
Yeah, I never write like that in Thai.
Right.
I never write directly. I always try to find the words to replace this kind of body part
Right.
all
Right.
the times. So it is so hard and so stressful. I want the reader to feel it, to enjoy it, to feel it's real, to have the same feeling with the characters and everything. But when I reread my work, I was like, oh my God, what did I write? Oh, it's
I know.
so embarrassing. It's
Right.
just like
So,
I never let my sisters, or any of my like friends, like outside of the writing communities. Nobody know, they don't read it.
they
Like my
don't?
sister, no. My sister, she asked me like, if you need help with the proofreading or anything, just let me know. Because my sister, she's very good at proofreading, and just let me know. I can help you. I said, no, you will not read my novels. She said, why? I'm okay with with the LGBT, novel. I don't have problem, that. I said, I know that you don't have problem with this, but I know that you have problem with love scenes, and I write a lot of love scenes in detail, so you will not read it. I mean, even like mm, male and female couple, she can't read, she's embarrassed. She just can't,
Uh,
not because of it's gay, but she just can't read love scenes at all. So
yeah.
If you
you will
can't
not
read
read.
love scenes, then you cannot read Jamie's novels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know for I know it is. I mean, I'm I write fan fiction, so it's a little different than But even for me, when I'm writing fan fiction of like a certain couple, it's always like, how do I write this? It's always like a little like, I don't get embarrassed because it's just like something that I'm writing like at the time, but when I'm reading it back, I'm just like, I wrote that. It's always something like just kind of like, and I don't let it. I don't let a lot of other people like proofread it because I'm always just like I just like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get.
yeah.
But some people I do, and then they tend to enjoy it. But it's just kind of something that it's hard to do like as a writer. I don't think people realize
Yeah, yeah,
that
it's true.
it
It's
is really hard writing love scenes. Like it's just kind of like
hard. Yeah,
it's just like how do I find the right words, like how do I make it so it's
yeah,
realistic enough that it's like
yeah,
there's always like these considerations that people don't think about when they're reading because it's like you're just reading it, but like as a writer you have to think about like, okay, like how does that really work, like how does that, like how would that look, it's always like kind of more technical. It's than you would, like, I think people think that you just like when you're writing these like love scenes that it's like, oh, it's just like it's so like hot or so sexy. It's like, no, it's like really technical. Like it's
Really,
just
really
like
difficult.
it's like finding the right words, like making sure that it's like accurate enough. So it's not as like, and for me it's not as mind blowing as it is for people
yeah,
reading it. It's more just like getting it right and making sure that it makes sense.
yeah.
But I don't
From
think people
start,
realize that. But it's more,
yeah,
for me. It's more that way. It's
from
not hard.
start, I don't know how to write love scenes. I'm sorry today. I'm
Oh,
still
that's
like,
okay.
I don't know how to write love scene at all. Roni know about that because she followed, my work for
Hmm.
such a long time. I don't know how to
I'm
write a love
moving my
scene.
face really
And
close to the screen so I can stare at her. I'm like, really?
and at the beginning, you know that, man. And 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 then she actually was the one who requested the love scene, and few of our friends, like our close friends now, and they were like, Jamie, you should, and I went to do some research to read and like physical, the it's not like I went to watch or anything like that I know people do, but I do a proper research,
Yeah.
like from the proper book, like study book,
Yeah.
really study, and then I started to write. So from zero, and
Mhm.
now I have no problem. I can write these love scenes with my eyes closed.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not particularly there yet. I can't write it with my eyes closed, but I think I could get
I'm
through
just
it.
joking. Oh my gosh.
I think I could get through it pretty good. It's just like something that it's just another piece of writing. It's just another piece, and sometimes sometimes you I think people like to think that they're always necessary, but they're not. It's just something that sometimes it adds to the story, or
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
if
yeah.
it
It's
if it
true.
doesn't, then you can leave it out. It's just something that it's kind of like a little extra.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but it's definitely I think something that is really interesting when you're writing, and definitely like when you're watching series. It's like sometimes like
Yeah.
even when I watch series and they have like love scenes, and I'm like, did but did you
If
need
not too
that?
much, it's okay. It's true. This is what I feel also. Sometimes I feel like, oh my God, do you have to have these kiss scenes like every episode?
Yeah.
So unnecessary. Is I mean, it's too much. Sometimes it's come to the point that it's too much. It's not sexy anymore. It's not
Right,
like
right.
worth it anymore. It's like, oh my God, again. It's like bloody hell, what the heck? And I was like, again, I just feel like this is enough. You just have to
Mhm.
skip it.
Yeah,
Skip
yeah, yeah,
some
definitely. Yeah.
other scenes.
Yeah.
And for me, as a novels, I feel like love scenes is a fan service.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
would
definitely.
like to give to the readers what they are
Yeah, yeah.
expecting, what they are waiting for. For example, I don't. For example, Habami is almost every chapters. So, but because I already say it's an erotic novels, is like lots of sexy scenes and you
Yeah.
know it's that kind of novel. So just leave Habami on the side, and
Mhm.
but other novels is like um, for me, when the relationships of the two people come to the point that they're supposed to go to the next step, and people would like to see that,
Mhm.
and I just put that scenes inside the novel.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't add a lot of these kind of scenes in all of my novels. Just only I think only two or three that has a lot. Well, Bamee has a lot, and the other two, you know, have some, but most of them, like I because I like to write slice of life, slice of life, and romantic novels. So I didn't have a lot of love scenes, this kind of love scenes, but I do have, I mean, people who read it, I know that some people it's not necessary to see to read these uh, sex scenes, but at some point it's like a climax, like
Yeah,
how
yeah.
how they feel is like, oh my God, their love is come to this point.
Yeah.
So I didn't like rude or something that is not acceptable or anything. I wrote it's like it's the beautiful of the love that is
Mhm.
comes to this point. Is like the flower bloom, you know born and
Mhm.
blossoms and stuff. So I think it's the way you deliver
Yeah.
that's count, in the novels, I think.
Yeah. I
But
think.
but Ronnie always requests the scenes.
I'm only thinking of the other fans. I mean, seriously, if I don't push her in this regard, like sometimes she would try to like gloss over this, and I'm like, you can't just do that. It's
Well, I
like,
appreciate
I mean,
you.
sure. I mean, most of the work, if we are going to compare Jamie's work to food, it will be something, kind of very smooth, very sweet. But I mean, you do need to spice up your food. You need to spice up your
Yeah.
novel, And I mean, I am there to make sure she add that very much necessary spice. So
Now everyone
if you
will
are
love
if
you,
you are a
man.
fan
Come
of
on.
Jamie's like love scene, then you have me to thank for. Thank you.
Yeah, now everyone who watches, they will
I
love
am
Ronnie
so
so
taking
much. They will
credit for
want to
this
be your
because
friend.
it's true.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
you're too funny, Roddy. Like, okay, so since you're the proponent of the love scenes, um, but I know you don't watch, you haven't been able to watch a lot of series, so I don't know how to frame this question in particular. But like, um, what is your favorite kind of love scene? Like, is it like, how, is it more like just kind of like too hot to handle, like in the elevator, just like taking
Uh,
off clothes, or like, or is it like a slow kind of like progression where it's just like, oh, they're like, like, what's your favorite kind of love scene? Is it like in the elevator, just like taking off like all the clothes, or like they're just in that moment and it's very like passionate, or is it more like they're hanging out together and they're like watching a movie and like they see like a love scene like on the movie that they're watching, and then just kind of that kind of happens that way. So like, which is your favorite, or do you have one that's like in the middle of that?
Ronnie first.
Yeah, Ronnie first.
I get to go first. Okay.
Yeah, because I was asking you. I was asking you because
Okay.
since and then if Jamie wants to answer, then she can. But I was asking you because you're like, you always want Jamie to write love scenes. So I was just like, well, what's your favorite?
Yeah.
Ooh, so I can pressure Jamie into writing love scenes like that, right?
Oh my god.
That's between you and Jamie. Like when you're
Like
She, she,
pressure.
she really scares me sometimes, that, oh my god, what she's gonna come up now with something.
and I
Anyway,
really.
so from a viewer's like perspective, I
Mhm.
mean, as I said, I enjoy slice of life, but I do enjoy the occasional like intense drama. So with that in mind, I believe that sometimes when love scenes happen, in a rush, when the characters still haven't fully realized like how, like who they are to each other, their relationship is like still unsettled and everything. And then because of reason one or two or three or four, they somehow like find themselves like in bed together, or in this case in an elevator. you know
My god.
so in other words, if the physical relationship comes
Oh my
before
god.
they are all settled mentally, it it really created good drama. It's like,
Mhm.
like what are we, like are we in a relationship? Are we dating? Are we friends with benefits? What are we? Are we still free to see each other? A lot of dramas can ensue from that, and like from a viewer's perspective, sometimes I find that really interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Jamie, that's a cue. Okay. Come on, man.
Well, well, from the author, from the author of Hot Bamee and Yummy Kyoko. You guys will not believe me, but I like something that is like sweet and the slow relationship
Mm-hmm.
development, and I like a good kiss, under the tea light, and you both in the room, sit on the sofa or on the bed whatsoever. The atmosphere is right, the feeling is right. You just give a nice gentle kiss. They give nice gentle kiss, and then go to the
Mm-hmm.
next. This is how I like it. It's just like I don't
It's
like.
time to push your boundaries.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I like something that is romantic.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just don't like forced love or forced
Nah, yeah.
sexual or
Yeah.
anything like that. I hate it, and I will never write something like that. I mean,
Again, it's time to push your boundaries.
I mean, I think that's important to mention, right? Because a lot of authors do write a lot of forced scenes in their novels.
they didn't. I don't think that. I mean, I am not against people who like to read or like to write something like that. Is depends on the storylines and everything. I respect all the authors. I respect all the readers. What people they like to do things differently. So there is nothing wrong about that. It's just me that I like something like this, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like to write something like that. So I will not do it. But I don't think like they do something wrong. I mean, it, there always a warning, trigger warnings on
Mm-hmm.
the novels or whatsoever. So people who come to read, they know already what they are reading.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to consider by themselves as well. They have to take responsibility on themselves, what they read and everything. So I think people are mature enough to know. So you cannot blame the writers, you cannot blame the readers for something as well. So it just people they have different types of their preference and
Mm-hmm.
everything. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's good that you mentioned that, but I just like the fact that your. I mean, for me personally, I just like the fact that your novels don't, do that. So, um, that's why I'm a fan of yours. Well, I
Oh,
mean,
thank
for other
you.
reasons too, but but honestly, yeah. I mean, it's really important to know that, um, it is a kind of like reader's responsibility to kind of like
Yeah,
decide what they want to
yeah,
read for themselves.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just to make sure that they're aware that it's fiction.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I think sometimes people can not realize that, so it's just kind of like a very tricky slope.
Mm,
But I do appreciate the fact that you don't include those scenes. So
yeah.
I
I
am a big
mean, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I didn't think that it's only reader's responsibility. As a writer, I think every writer they have this big responsibility to take as a writer, how they express their story, how they write their stories. Um, I mean, is their responsibility as well. If you write the something that violent, or something really bad example for people, you must warn them. You have to put the trigger warnings or whatsoever to let the people know. This is the kind of responsibility that you can do for your readers. In the meantime, the leaders they have to have their own responsibility of what they read as well. They have to understand what they read, that this is a fiction, this is not the real life events, and you cannot really do that on in your real life. something like that. It's like both side responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
So if people that come to the point that they understand each other about this, there will not be some, because we know there is like a lot of dramas about these writing communities and everything. So I mean, if everybody have their own responsibility of what they read and what they write, it will be good in the community, because novel is novels,
Mm-hmm.
is the imagination. um, so basically people can write anything because it's their imaginations, but you have to let people know, because of course there are so many people underage, and they don't understand that, okay, maybe they need parents to guide them or whatsoever. So is the matter of the responsibility of each person,
Mm-hmm.
that we cannot really control it as well. Yeah.
Right. Right. Okay. That was good. we went a bit serious, but it's good though. I mean,
Yeah, oh my god, why we are serious, oh my god.
well, like I said, it's whatever happens in the episode is what's gonna happen. So,
Yeah.
this is all
And
part of
people
it.
will, oh my god, we will ban them for this episode. They are so serious. We click to watch them because we see Jamie and Roni. We think it's gonna be funny. Oh my god.
I don't. I don't. I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Like I was just. It's just however the natural conversation flows, and whatever
Yeah.
happens,
Oh, we
happens.
don't
So
have we don't even have script today.
no,
We just
I didn't.
we just
I didn't write
chat
one.
chat whatever. It's not like
Yeah,
it's so
exactly.
informal today. I want to let you guys know. I mean, the audience is very informal today. We didn't even like prepare or anything. We just like have a chat. Like, okay, this Sunday, and that's it.
It's basically how this
It's
happens.
like a not interview. It's a chat. So you I just want to let you know. So it's
Yeah, I
go
mean
to
it's
whatever.
I mean basically we're just having a chat, and so
Yeah,
whatever happens to chat about, that's what we're chatting about.
yeah.
Um, you know. Okay, so we covered that. I don't know what else. But I guess for Ronnie, um, how let's see. Let's see. What do you like? So when you're getting a novel to translate, when Jamie like translates, or when she finishes a novel and she says, "Here, Roni, translate it." How long does that take you to translate? I know for Hot Bammy you worked really fast, but like for other novels, like how long can it take? Because you are working full time and all that.
Like, to be frank, it like my rate of translation, like per one page, it's pretty fast. But that has to, I have to be free. As in my mind is not boggled with
Yeah.
other things, I don't have a meeting like
Right.
another
Right.
day after that. I don't have other translation jobs lining up for me that I have to submit to the government in a couple of days, things like that. I'm not
Yeah.
grading my students exams. So actually it's like moments like that are hard to come by. It was quite fortunate really that that hot Bamee come at the time that I was somewhat free of those responsibilities. So I was
Mm.
able to pretty much did the translation in more or less just one sitting. Like how long
Wow.
was that, Jamie? Like a month and a half or something?
1.5, I think, at that
Yeah, a month and a
time.
half. I mean, I,
Because
I
you
I mean,
also,
a month and a half was not. I did not start from page one. I did a little bit like
Mm-hmm.
beforehand.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, I did the bulk of it in a month and a half.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. But
Yeah.
but 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 it's also this I'm not joking, but because her mommy they have a lot of love scenes, so for her it's so easy. She told me, oh my god, it's so smooth, it's come out so natural. This
I
is
was
why it's so fast. Oh
I
man.
was like it was like, like Bamee in Thai on the left and then the blank document on the right. And I was just like, I was just like, oh, that's one page. That's another page. Another page is done.
Yeah, so fast.
Yeah.
But like so
But like
typically,
with
yeah.
Jamie's other novels, when there are more things to consider. For example, the My Secret Love, the novel, I actually do need to step back and then research on terms that that are found in the novels that I don't actually know off the top of my head. Words that associate with like university
Mm-hmm.
rituals, things like
Mm-hmm.
that. I actually I did need to do research on that to make sure that I use the right words, provide the right context, provide the readers with the right translators notes. So those things take time. So that's
Mhm.
why yeah, it would take longer than hot for me, because I mean, hot for me. Really? Would you like to read translators' notes? It was fun.
I mean, I would like to read translators' notes. You can always send those to me.
There was translators' notes for Hot Bami concerning things like like the food they ate and
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I tried to provide as much context as I could, so that when people read it, they can learn about Thai novels. And since our characters are Thai, I want the readers to understand how they behave and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I added those translators notes in. But I mean, when it's time for the bedroom, excuse me, I mean, what kind of translators notes are you looking for? I did everything in the translation already. Just read it, man.
I mean, I think I genuinely like really appreciate when translators' notes are added like as footnotes, like on the bottom, because there's a lot of things. I'm not Thai, so a lot of things I don't know about.
Yeah.
And I have, since starting this kind of journey, I have learned a lot more. But I don't know everything, and so it always helps me to know, like, okay, like this is why they do certain things. Like, for example, like the
Yeah.
biggest thing that like I didn't know about was like an actual thing was when they have the hazing rituals like in universities. I had no idea like why that was a thing. Like when I first started watching BL and I first saw it, it was in SCOTUS, and I was just like, why are they being so mean? Like it was just
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, I understand.
why is this happening? It's like it was well they did SCOTUS in like 2016, but like it's still a very like and BL shows in I still have like the hazing rituals like in the university settings. So like I didn't know about that ritual at all until like I did research about it until like but it wasn't like in the translator's notes like for SCOTUS like they didn't include that. I had to find that out by my on my own. So like now when I see those, I'm just like, oh, okay, like this is just like what happens. But so I always
Yeah.
appreciate it when translators do include those footnotes because then I know like okay, like this is what it means. Like it's not because a lot of things like when you're watching may not translate well to English and so they may seem a little offensive, but if you have like context or if you have some of the, translators notes, then you kind of think like, oh, okay, this is just something that they do, and so it's not as shocking, I guess, as I would say.
Mm.
So yeah, definitely when that like when I first saw the hazing rituals, I was just like, like why is it so? Like I was
Yeah,
so
I feel
like,
also like, what is wrong with you people, you know? I just hate it as well. I mean, but Roni, she did a great job with the translator's note.
Yeah.
She always like do a research. She always put the translator note, at the end of the chapters. Sometimes, with pictures and everything.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
So
it was
yeah, I
good.
definitely appreciate that, and I know a lot of like international fans appreciate that too because
Mm,
if you don't know, then a lot of things can go kind of over your head and be like, well, I don't understand like why they would do something like that. Like the other thing, like not just the SCOTUS thing, but that was like a new thing to me. I was just like, oh my gosh,
mm,
but like I guess there's just like some of like the university terms or some of the puns, because like some of the puns like they use
yeah.
like wordplay, they use like entendres and stuff to like, so it's kind of like when you don't have the translator's notes, it's kind of
Mm,
like what does that even mean? I think the
yeah,
most
yeah,
recent
yeah.
example I have is like there was wordplay on like eating food, but it wasn't. But they used a different word that didn't mean eating food, but it was like it was like the other thing, and so like yeah, it was like a euphemism for like you know that kind of a thing. And if I didn't have
Mm,
and if I didn't have the translator's notes, or if I didn't have like the translator saying like, oh, this is like a pun, this is like a pun on eating
mm,
on the word. And I was just like, oh, that makes more sense now. Like, no, but you don't know, like if
yeah.
you don't know the language. So I think they're really helpful.
I mean, I
Yeah.
just think of myself as a reader, like because I do read some translated novels as well,
Mhm.
and sometimes when the context is very much different from what I am used to, I am very much appreciative of the translator's note because otherwise I will be completely out of the loop. So I am thinking that, Thai culture and English speaking culture, like, the two are very much different. So
Mhm.
how will my readers feel if I just leave it at that and don't give them any context? For example,
Mm,
I mean, even something as simple as I'm going to use hot bamee as reference here, okay? I mean,
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
even something as simple as going out to eat, I mean, that is different because Thai people, we go out to eat almost every day
Oh,
because,
okay.
the food is cheap and everything, and because Thai food has a lot of spices and many steps to prepare.
Mhm.
So it is actually much more convenient, and I would dare say cheaper as well to go out to eat in Thailand. I mean, as long as you don't pick a super fancy restaurant
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
anything.
Yeah. There's a lot of
And
street
if
stalls.
yeah, I mean, if my reader doesn't understand that they come from, I don't know, an American culture or something, they'll be like, "Ooh, this guy must be loaded because he goes out to eat every night." And I was like, "That's not the
Mm,
case at all.
Yeah.
You can't have that misunderstanding about the character because I don't explain the cultural context of Thai people going out to eat. I think that's completely unfair. So that's why I need to add a translator's note in, such an occasion."
Yeah, I've noticed. I mean, like, not that I mean, it's like really weird, like things that I pay attention to when I'm watching series, but I do notice, like, a lot of the times it's just like mostly like going out to like street stalls, you know. But
yeah,
if
yeah.
I had good access to street stalls, I'd probably be doing that too. I don't. I mean, that's one of the things I feel like is kind of universal in a way because like everybody eats, like everybody like needs food. It's just like the way we access it might be a little different. Like here in America, everything's getting more expensive, but typically it's cheaper. It's supposed to be cheaper to like make your own food at home versus like going out, because here we don't have a lot of street stalls. It's not, it's not market food. It's like you go sit down at a restaurant, even a fast food restaurant. Sometimes you sit down to it, so
Mm,
it's different. But yeah, it's always like good to know like how a culture is kind of like different because then you kind of realize like okay, well this is just something that they do, like it's normal, and maybe, for other people, it's not normal to eat out every day, but, for Thai people, it is because it's just cheaper that way, and
Mm.
because and because you guys have a lot of access to kind of like, you know, outside food where here in the US we may not to, or in London, we or in England we you may not have access to cheap kind of food that way. So it's always, I find it really interesting, just like just by watching series and like by reading novels and understanding that there's a lot of differences, but there's also a lot of similarities too. It's not just like, oh, we're just completely like different like species from each other, like we're not. I think people tend to kind of focus more on the differences than the way like our cultures are similar to each other. Because at the end of the day, people just want to be happy, and however, like whatever that means to each individual is different. But we all want to have like food. We all want to have like clothes on our backs. Those are things that are universal, to people. So I think that it's good that that there is some differences, but also a lot of similarities. And I think that translators help kind of bridge the gap between our
Mm.
cultures, because then it makes us understand, like, okay, well, this is how they are sometimes, and I think that's really good. I'm really appreciative of translators, by the way. Like, I really am, because like obviously you're the reason
It's
why I
true.
can read
Yeah.
the novels. You're the reason
Mm.
why I can watch the shows, because it's translated into a language I can understand. Um,
Mm.
so I'm just gonna praise you a little bit because I think it's you're just as important as Jamie is, because obviously without Jamie we wouldn't have novels or we wouldn't have a series. But with you, you're so important because like you share the work, and thank you. I just want to thank you
But
for
it's true.
that
It's
because
true. It's true.
Oh,
Yeah, it's true.
my
I mean,
pleasure,
I appreciate.
definitely.
Yeah,
because I
appreciate
think
it as well.
yeah. Yeah, because I don't think translators get a lot of credit, even though they do a lot of
Sure,
work.
sure.
You know.
That's why I always give credit to all my translators because people, they just don't value them or whatsoever. I don't know. They just never uh, give them credit. They don't really. Yeah, I don't know what to say. They don't value them. I don't know. Maybe they do, but they just don't um, don't express that thankful enough, to that translator. So and many translator they was like they just like behind the door. You know what I mean? It's like it's not right. If
Hmm.
there is no translator, your work cannot be known to the international readers. So you have to value them. You have to be grateful to them. You have to show them how appreciative you are to your translators. I think this is important, because people they just how can they know you appreciate them if you never tell them? They cannot read your mind. Like, okay, read my mind, what I'm thinking.
Hmm.
You can't read people's mind. So you have to tell them. I always tell Ronnie I appreciate I I always like acknowledge. Yeah, the word is acknowledge. You have to acknowledge them and make people know this is your translator. This fantastic person translate your work. If you don't do that, nobody know. Okay, somebody translate this to English, Spanish, or whatsoever. But who? You have to let people know and to see them and grateful, and thankful for them. Not just okay, yeah, somebody translate my work, happy, happy, and then that's it. And yeah, and who translate your work? Just tell people about them, not just like okay, happy my work has some translator, but people don't even know who the translator is. They are not invisible. They are a person who working hard for your work. So you have to appreciate them. This is how I think. Maybe
Yeah.
people will hate me, but
I don't think it's possible to have anybody hate you, Jamie. To be real, to be honest, I don't know. I'd be the miserable person if they did, because you're the sweetest person ever.
thank you.
So I think so, and
She is. She
maybe
is
I'm
definitely.
maybe I'm just a little biased. But okay, oh
I
man,
try to make her show, how she appreciate me by putting in my request scenes in her novels. And sometimes she doesn't do that. And I was like, do you really appreciate me?
She trained me. People want to train me.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
dear.
You guys are too funny. That's good.
Oh,
Okay.
like seriously? I mean, like some scenes that appear in all
Oh my
because I
God,
blackmail her
really?
into writing them. And I was like, you said you
You should.
appreciate my service, right? So show your
You should.
appreciation, write in scenes.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay.
No,
So
nobody will
it's
help
been.
me.
Oh my gosh, it's been so fun. It's been a blast. I've kept these two wonderful, wonderful women for about 2 hours.
Oh my God, it's true.
Time really does
So,
fly.
Yeah, it does.
so I hope you all have enjoyed this. Thank you, Ronnie, for coming and for sitting down and chatting with me. Thank you, Jamie, for coming on again. Definitely
Thank you.
need to do this again at some point, maybe when everything is good to go and you make your
Okay.
announcements. I definitely expect you to come back on the channel.
Well, whenever you want us, you can let us know if we have like free time. Well, Saturday, Sunday is always fine with me. Uh, so whenever you just give us a shout and we'll be there.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Poor Ronnie.
Yeah,
She's
thank you for having us.
Oh no, you're so welcome. Thank you so much. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this episode. Give it a like, give it a comment down below about what you're looking forward to, about anything you want to comment to Jamie or Ronnie, and I'm sure they'll see it. And you can follow them on Twitter and on social medias. I will link that all in the description down below if you want to follow them.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and bye.
Thank you for watching.